Welcome to the Philippines, an archipelago brimming with its eccentric beauty and colorful landscapes. It is a celebration of all sorts, from festivals and spiritual celebrations to salos and family-centric values. The country, carved by history, has developed a rich culture that truly makes it Filipino. But beyond its culture, it is also marred with extreme gaps in social classes, unlawful crimes, constant discrimination, and perpetual greed and corruption, a reality that Filipinos wake up to each day. No wonder why they find some sort of escape. As we navigate the escapist era of the arts, the deafening echoes of the past still haunt us today. It is in this landscape that artist Robles Lana emerges as a fearless storyteller, using his unparalleled talent to give a voice to the overlooked and forgotten. Through films, Lana confronts the harsh truths of society, presenting narratives that should, in an ideal world, be relics of the past rather than reflections of our present.
Sa bayan, maging ang mga pamilya ninyo. At bilang simbolo ng bago ninyong buhay, hihingi namin sa bawat isa sa inyo ang inyong bagong pangalan. Ikaw kasama.
Through his evocative storytelling, Lana invites us to witness these powerful tales and awaken our collective social consciousness. It was 1972, 10th day of October, when Rodolfo R. Lana Jr. was born. As a young writer, Lana achieved early acclaim and became the youngest inductee into the Palanca Hall of Fame. Now at 51 years old, Lana has directed over 25 films across various genres, gaining both critical and commercial acclaim locally and globally. His filmography is renowned for delving into societal issues and personal narratives with a nuanced perspective. His contributions to storytelling makes Jun Lana a pivotal figure in Philippine contemporary cinema. He possesses a keen eye and mind that work together to establish a unique identity. This sets his films up for greatness and apart from other Filipino filmmakers of today. Lana's cinematography exhibits a distinctive style characterized by specific shots, movements, and compositions that reflect his directorial signature. He has a marked preference for using medium and close-up shots. This technique is frequently employed during mundane moments, with his pawns engaging in simple conversations. From the occasional switching of close-up shots between Trisha and Barbs while doing their makeup and Die Beautiful, to Kalel and his family drunkenly talking about their problems in Kalel 15, to Marilu and Tessie gossiping while washing clothes in the river in Mga Kwentong Barbero, to Darna showing their heart on their sleeve in a family dinner in Big Night, and to Emman and Amy aimlessly chit-chatting while intoxicated on shabu in Anak Ka ng Ina Mo. Lana has a special way of framing his characters and allowing viewers to be more immersed in their stories, in their psyche. With this framing, the camera movements also follow the pawns, usually through the technique of panning.
Ito na.
While Lana's films generally involve long takes of the characters' natural actions, this movement makes it more interesting and enables more dynamic moments. Both the panning and close-up shots transport us to the scene of the crime, making us feel as if we are part of the film and seeing these characters eye to eye.
Totoo nga, nag-martial law. Dahil gusto ni Marcos manatili bilang presidente.
Ano ba naman ang sinasabi mo? Nagpatayo na nga siya ng mga eskwelahan. Nagkaroon tayo ng kalsada nang dahil sa kanya, di ba?
Nakita nyo sa bulletin noong isang linggo. May litrato ni Marcos at nakaakbay kay Mayor.
Teka, totoo ba?
Beyond the shots and movements, the director maximizes mirrors, an ambiguous tool usually seen when characters are fixing themselves, observing their perfection and flaws, or reflecting on how life has been. Such scenes coincide with points in time when the leads are experiencing internal conflict and unrest, exposing their fragility and opening them up for scrutiny. From full reflections, Jun Lana also displays an affinity for the opposite end, obstructions. We can typically see sequences involving characters, but something blocks our perspective. Classroom doors, jalousies, gate fences, metal screens, and traditional amakans. In most cases, this shows how the audience invades the character's privacy and peeks through an intimate moment. After all, we are but intruders to the stories that they wish to keep from the world. In other cases, this is simply intended for creative purposes, adding visual depth to an integral moment of the character. To enhance an already astounding shot, Lana utilizes editing features that increase the stakes of his storytelling. In capturing moments of realization, the deep sorrow of a character, or subtle nuances of an intimate interaction, Lana employs the slow motion zoom-in technique to create a sense of closeness and magnify the narrative's impact. He also occasionally uses this more spontaneously to enhance sequences' visual appeal or to break the monotony, injecting a touch of stylistic flair that keeps audiences visually engaged. Lana also strategically uses blurs to dictate the narrative's focal points and direct the audience's focus on certain aspects. Blurring backgrounds can isolate a conversation or even highlight emotional turmoil. To respectfully situate these tales, Lana ensures that the production and set design are contextual. In Big Night, the film's settings are predominantly urban, reflecting the bustling yet gritty life of Darna. The vibrant, often chaotic streets are filled with colorful jeepneys, crowded marketplaces, and cramped living spaces, highlighting Darna's environment and the socioeconomic challenges they face. Lana's attention to detail ensures that every scene not only tells a story but also fully immerses the audience in its emotional and contextual landscape. By carefully crafting each setting to resonate with the narrative's themes and characters' experiences, Lana creates a world that invites viewers to engage attentively, leaving a lasting impression on their understanding of Filipino culture and society. He also uses contrasts to amplify the story he wants to tell, juxtaposing visually captivating sets with subdued, introspective backgrounds. This conveys the highs and lows of his characters' journeys. This contrast serves to highlight the complexities of identity, societal norms, and personal struggles portrayed in his films. Whether depicting flamboyant pageant scenes, rustic rural villages, stark urban environments, or bustling metropolitan landscapes, Lana ensures that every setting authentically reflects the socioeconomic, cultural, and emotional realities of his characters and grounds audiences in this world. For Jun Lana, his biggest challenge in creating films is answering the question, what will make this story compelling to watch? His works may have a variety of colors and nuances, but their centerpiece, the characters he meticulously develops, remain his key ingredient in keeping his audiences glued to these stories. In films like Mga Kwentong Barbero, Die Beautiful, and Kalal 15, Lana carefully weaves the lives of protagonists and humanizes their experiences as the film captures each slice of mundane life. It is not enough that these characters simply have a story to tell. These are characters excluded from everyday conversations of even the modern world. Narratives made of women challenging traditional norms during a time of political unrest, of transgender women facing abuse and discrimination, of budding teenagers grappling with identity and health crisis, and of other representations of marginalized communities. We see Lana's characters struggle in the uncontrolled environment they were born into and question even themselves, educating viewers about the nuances of the political areas it touches and showing a side of reality that is often ignored. Lana's films are not an easy watch. He trusts that viewers will follow and deepen their understanding of the plight of the drivers of these stories. He rarely spoon-feeds and instead calmly shows how characters' conflicts emerge from the unforced and accumulating circumstances in their lives. This is what makes him a realist auteur, riding the ebb and flow arising from the decisions his protagonists make. Intertwined and made apparent in Lana's filmography is his profound consciousness of Filipino values, often depicted in more mainstream films. The author never detracts from our predominantly Christian culture and values, and in fact embraces this identity. From priests, constant novenas, and processions, to Christian passages and icons, it is an ingredient that truly makes these stories Filipino. However, he sees these instruments of Catholicism pragmatically. No sense of idealism is present as they are contextualized to their realities. We encounter a priest with a bastard son, a house filled with crosses and figures yet vandalized with obscenities, and a bloody massacre within a church. In this way, Lana tells us that his stories are no place to look for role models. The Philippines has undergone two different cycles of the golden age of film, giving birth to globally acclaimed auteurs in Lino Broca, Marilu Diaz-Abaya, and others who continue to influence the artists of today. While their legacy may have been lost in translation due to the emergence of kilig mainstream movies, June Lana Robles transcends the eras of Filipino films and creates timely and inspirational masterpieces. Drawing strength from his natural gift of writing, the auteur never fails to show his versatility and creativity in his craft. He creates a perfect balance between doing it for the arts and for the commercial audience. While the conventional Lana film is categorized more closely to realism, he does not stray away from the common styles of today. He can deal with heavy dramas and political themes one day and play around with the kabit archetype and colorful dance numbers the next. Despite the various directions of his filmmaking abilities, he barely compromises the story, as this is the beating heart of his movies. This is his shining edge amongst his contemporaries. He not only dictates how stories are depicted on the big screen, but also breathes life into them through his humanistic storytelling. June Robles Lana is truly a generational artist, and a winner in two worlds. Undoubtedly, Lana's approach to realist films deviates from the typical conventions of mainstream cinema. Despite this divergence, Lana plays a crucial role in advancing significant narratives within Philippine society. As a queer filmmaker, he fosters an environment that promotes visibility and representation, encouraging open discussions about topics that are often too taboo for the common folk.
Hindi ko naman laging hindi siya yung pareho, hindi naman top of mind ko na gagawa ko ng pelikula para sa community ko. Hindi, nagkataon na isa akong queer filmmaker. Napaka-importante sa akin na sinasalamin ng mga kwento ko, ano yung pinagdadaanan ko.
And even amidst the political climates in which he produced his films, such as during former President Duterte's war on drugs with Big Night, Lana emphasizes that what matters most to him is the ability to tell his story.
Baka mag-suffer ang career mo, baka ma-brand ka, baka ma-red tag ka, but hindi ko sinasabing hindi ako natatakot dahil napaka-natural sa akin yun. May mga anak ako, iniisip ko yung pamilya ko, pero hindi ko mapigilan ng sarili ko na magkwento. I think yun talaga yun. Hindi ko mapigilan ng sarili ko na magkwento ng mga bagay na importante sa akin.
Most importantly, to Lana, being Filipino goes beyond upholding traditional Christian values and ideal family dynamics. He strives to depict the realities of Philippine society, offering narratives that remain relevant and insightful in contemporary times.
Are you trying to change society? Are you trying to wake us up?
I guess I'm just a Filipino filmmaker trying to tell stories about us, about what's happening around us. I've been told many times na bakit hindi ka gumawa ng comedy na mas universal, na wala masyadong politics, um, para mas magkaroon ka ng malaking audience, etc. and all. Pero kasi Filipino ako eh. Ito yung nangyayari sa paligid ko eh. Dito ako nagkakaroon ng passion para magkwento. Napaka-importante sa akin na ang kinikwento ko totoo at sinasalamin ko ano yung mga nangyayari sa paligid natin. I don't see myself, I mean, of course, ang laking karangalan na masama sa mga gaya ni na Dino Broca, Ishmael Bernal, pero nagkikwento lang talaga ako. Nagkikwento ako at kung ano ang tingin sa akin ng audience, kung ano ang tingin sa akin ng critics, bagamat mahalaga sa akin ng audience, at the end of the day, it's really none of my business kung ano ang tingin nila sa akin.
The Philippines has been indubitably marked with national infestations that have caused further divisions in our already tumultuous social ladder. History tells us that in the second golden age of Philippine cinema, the medium was used to subtly deliver important messages that brought more awareness to the plight of the masses. Decades later, we face the looming threat of the scars of yesterday, albeit in a more escapist culture in the arts. As a true trailblazer, June Robles Lana boldly stands amongst other Filipino filmmakers unafraid to tell unheard and neglected stories of our modern heroes, using his one-of-a-kind talent as a platform for communities taken for granted. In an ideal world, Lana's films should not be necessary, and these ideas should not be reminiscent of everyday experiences. For now, we are invited to feel all the emotions of his beautifully told stories, to ignite a fire within us that keeps us from repeating the same mistakes and undoing the progress of yesterday's champions.